in the Indian tradition. Now we learnt about the historiography in the modern period. So before that, I want to ask you, is I am properly audible? So now, when we are talking about the historiography in the modern period, the first thing that is how the modern period, it is the time of 20th century. In this century, which type of historian people came and what they have founded and what they have written in their book. We study all this thing in this modern period. So now one by one we will go to each part. First of all, we go to the Director General of the Archaeological Survey of the India, the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, that is Sir Alexander Cummingen. The Sir Alexander Cummingen. First of all, who is Sir Alexander Cummingen? He is one of the army officer, one of the army engineer officer. But afterward, he shifted his focus into the history subject. And then he worked with the government related to archaeological survey, related to archaeological surveys, and he worked on the Indian histories. And then slowly and gradually, what Sir Alexander Cummingen did, he is the first Director General of the Archaeological Survey of India, and he tried to choose the sites which mention in the Buddhist text. There are the n number of texts, like Jainism texts are there, Buddhism texts are there, and they are written in a Pali, Argamagadhi, and Sanskrit language. Okay, these are the three languages which used in the earlier time, that is Pali, Argamagadhi, and Sanskrit language. So now he shifted his focus on the Harappan civilization, and at the Sir Alexander Cummingen tenure, at the time of the Director General Sir Alexander Cummingen, he founded all the things. He discovered all the things related to Buddhist text, like all the things which happen in the 3000 BCE, that is third millennium BCE. So he focused on the Harappan civilization. He also mentioned all the sites which consider in the Buddhist text. He focused on all the sites which mention in the Buddhist text. So this type of work done by the Sir Alexander Cummingen. Then several Britishers officers came in India. They wrote about Indian history, and they want to display what? They want to display about colonial British rule. They, in his book, if you read his book, like the Indian history, or the book that is the history of British India, in that book, what they mention about the colonial British rule. Now, my question is to you, student, what is colonial? They always focusing, the British officers, they focusing on what? They focusing on the Britisher when they came to India. What type of colonial role they played? When the British officer came to India, what type of colonial role they played? Yes, divide and rule policies and all things they had written in that book. So first we move to our Sir John Marshall. Okay, Sir John Marshall focused on Harappan civilization, and they discovered also. Afterward, we move to the British India was written by James, and how the British rule over the India, how the colonialism happened, at that era, and they written in the 1817. Colonial era means how, students, before British coming, before British rule, what things are happened. All these things they are written in this book. Afterward, we move to this was the first book of an Indian history, which written by a British historian. What happened before British rule? And this book is written at the time of 1817. It tried to reflect all the things which absence, like objectives of the Indian culture, all the things. In this book, they are written about the Indian culture. Okay, all the Indian incredible Indias before British rule. Afterwards, the Mountstuart, Elphinstone, written the book The History of India. He is one of the governor of Bombay, we can say, and this book is published in 1841. So this two historian who focused on the Indian history, Indian culture, which happened, how the Indian culture before British rule. So they focused on this thing, and they written the two books, like James Mill written the book like The History of British India. And which book written by Mountstuart Elphinstone, student? Which book written by Mountstuart Elphinstone? Yes, I want the book name. Yes, exactly. Afterward, we move to the historian Grant Duff. Now, who is Grant Duff and what he did? Now, Grant Duff focused on what? He is one of the British officer, first of all, and he focused on the period of Maratha Empire. Okay, in his book, you read about the Maratha Empire, and the book name is, just look at the screen. Already I given. What is the book name which written by Grant Duff? Yes, exactly. The book name was The History of the Marathas. So Grant Duff focusing on the Marathas empire, the culture, and then he also show that the British inclusions of Indian cultures. And afterward, the next is Colonel Todd. Colonel Todd written the book about the Rajasthani history. He written about how the Vellore, how the proud king was living at the time of Rajasthani king's era. Okay, which type of fout has taken a place at the history? Like Prithviraj Chauhan is there, Rana Pratap Singh is there. So there are the two parts. Okay, two volumes are there. So afterward we move to the two volumes. Two volumes means two parts. Okay, the two parts, the two books, the two series written by Williams Wilson Hunter on Indian history. As we see, Grant Duff focusing on the Maratha Empire. Afterward, Colonel Todd focusing on what? Rajasthani history. And afterward, William Wilson Hunter focusing on Indian history. What they want to show on their Indian history book? They want to show the impartial treatment on the subject. Means what type of mistake the historian did when they are writing the Indian history subject. That type of mistake in their book. Afterward, our Indian historians, that is Nilkanta Janardhan Kirtane and Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade. These are the two Indian historians who focused on the limitation of a Grand Duft writing. Means Grand Duft written on a Maratha history, but there are certain limitations. He not written the up to the mark. But there are the two Indian historians, that is Nilkant Janardhan Kirtani and Vishwanath Kashinath Rajwade, who written the book related to Maratha Empire, but they show all the things, all the minute detail on their book which is related to Maratha Empire. So up to here, main thing came, that is Indian historiography by various ideological framework. There are several ideological frameworks are there in Indian historiography. Up till now, we talk about n number of British officer came. They written a book related to Indian architecture, Indian history, Maratha history, Rajasthan history. But now we talk about what? But now we talk about Indian historiography. The Indian historiography is divided into three types. First is colonial historiography, second is orientalist historiography, and third is nationalistic historiography. Indian historiography is divided into three ideological frameworks. Okay, three ideological frameworks. First is colonial historiography, second is orientalist historiography, and third is nationalistic historiography. One by one, we will go to each part. So, colonial historiography is a historiography which happens in the era between 1922 to 1937. Okay, and in this era, what happened? What is the exact meaning, first of all, colonial historiography? Colonial historiography means what? When this early scholar who studied and they wrote on Indian history, especially they are British officer. For example, we take an example of Grand Duff, then Colonel Todd, then Sir Alexander. So, as same as the earlier scholar who study and wrote Indian history were mainly British officer and Christian missionary, and their when their reflection, their judgment reflected to Indian history, when their judgment reflected to Indian history, it is nothing but colonial historiography. It is nothing but colonial historiography. When British officer came and they study about the Indian history and their judgment reflects on the Indian culture, it is nothing but the colonial historiography. And there is a best example of colonial historiography is Cambridge History of India. This is a book which published during the 1922 to 1937 C. This is the example of colonial historiography, the Cambridge History of India. Okay, students. Okay, now the books like the Cambridge History of India. It is the best example of colonial historiography. Afterward, we move to next, that is Orientalist historiography. Now, when European scholars are really curious about the civilization of Indian culture, civilization of East country culture, when the European scholars are very curious to know about the East country culture and civilization, and they really respect towards that culture and civilization. They are really respect towards the Eastern country's civilization and culture. It is known as, this scholar were known as Orientalist. And when they are working on that, they are working on their history, East country's history. It is known as Orientalist historiography. So Orientalist historiography is specially working between Sanskrit. They are study the similarity between Sanskrit and European language, because as you all know, the early language, all the books is mainly written in the Sanskrit language. So they study the Sanskrit language and European language, and they focused the Orientalist. The Orientalists especially focused on what? They focused on Vedic traditions, like Rig Veda is there, Atharva Veda is there, Yajur Veda is there, Upanishad is there. If you heard this type of history books, the Vedic traditions are there. This is in your 6th standard, I think, so 6th or 7th standard. Okay, very good. Your mom is reading every day. Okay, good. Yes, Revati. Samveda is there. So, n number of Vedic tradition, they are interested in. The Europe scholars are really interested and really respect, and they focused on these traditions and Sanskrit literature and the ancient language. Like they are written their historiography, their books on Indo-European languages. Now, first of all, we move to first Orientalist. The Orientalist name is Sir William Jones. Now, who is Sir William Jones? He, in 1784, he founded one society, that is Asiatic Society, which is in Kolkata. And it is open for all the researchers, all the person who want to research related to ancient Indian history. This is a one type of museum you can also called as, because you have seen over there all the ancient history books, all the ancient history informations. You get n number of ancient history information, and this society is founded by Sir William Jones in 1784 in Kolkata. So there are the Orientalist scholar. First we move to the Orientalist scholar. The name was Friedrich Max Muller. Okay, now Friedrich Max Muller, what he did, he always give a special attention towards the Sanskrit and ancient language. He written his book in the Indo-European languages, and he deeply interested, as I told you, he deeply interested in Vedic literature and Sanskrit literature. And he also translated the book, the Sanskrit book, Hitopdesh. Hitopdesh book he translated into 15 volumes, into 50 volumes. Okay, named as the sack. Okay, you can see here also how he translated the books. Hitopdesh, which is written in Sanskrit. Afterward, he moved to the Rig Veda. Afterward, he moved to the Rig Veda, which is written in the, which translated Rig Veda in German language. Okay, student, I want to know from who translated this book. Yes, exactly correct. Okay, so next Orientalist is Edward. Okay, Edward said that a scholar who has re-evaluated the Orientalist writing has thrown light on imperialistic interest on an Orientalist scholar. Now, what he want to explain? He want to always say that, for example, we take an example of Max Muller. Max Muller, what he did, he translated the Rig Veda into German language. Because when the Rig Veda is translated into German language, what happened? The other people who know to read in the German language, they are able to know about the Rig Veda. So there is a no limitations of language. The foreign peoples are also able to read now Rig Veda. Because why? Because of Orientalist, because of Max Muller. So what Orientalists did, they light on the information. They show, they help to people that what exactly, okay, they help the people what exactly written in the history. Because sometimes what happened, the history books which written by historian, they're written in a other languages, but the people not able to read it, and the Orientalist, they translate the books into different languages that people able to read it. Afterward, nationalistic historiography. Okay, okay, so now nationalistic historiography means what? When the writing of an Indian historian means the Indian historian who trained in the British educational system, they, when they are writing some history books, when they are writing some historical informations. For example, we take an example of Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, the one of the Indian historian. How he is the, yes, he is the leader. Yes, he was the leader, but he also written the several books. Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar written the several books, and they are adopted. They, how, where they learn? They learn in the British educational system. Yes or no? Yes, they learn in the British educational system. So that's why we can say that when the Indian historian, they train into British educational system, and they are taking the interest toward the historiography. It is called as nationalistic historiography. So one by one we'll move to each and everything of Indian historiography. First we move towards the Maharashtra. Okay, Maharashtra was were really inspired by Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar. And what he did, he showed the history of India, ancient India. In their book, he showed the history of ancient India. He tried to show all the era which before the British rule. What type of our India culture before the British rule? What type of our livelihood? How the golden era is there before British rule? So all this thing we can see in their books. In his book, in whose book, student? In Vishnu Shastri Chiplunkar. So he focused in the Indian ancient history and the golden era, how the golden era was before British rule. Okay. Afterward, there are n number of nationalistic historian are there. Okay, so you can see, students, I want from you your sides. I want answer from your side, students. In this slide, which name, which national historian name you have found? I want the answer from your side. Which nationalistic historian name you have seen in this slide? Yes. Okay, sacred means pavitra. Okay. Okay, Rajendra Lal Mishra, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, then Veer Savarkar, okay. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, okay. Veer Damodar Savarkar, then Ram Krishna Gopal Bhandarkar, Rajendra Lal Mishra, Ramesh Chandra Majumdar. So there are n number of historians, n number of scholars who work for nationalistic historians, who work as a nationalistic historian. Now we move to the next part. Okay, before that, we move to the main part, that is Rajwade. As I told you, Rajwade is a historian who focused on the Maratha Empire. And he already, I told you, he he focused on the limitation of the Grand Duft book. He focused, he exposed all the things which written by the Grand Duft, because Grand Duft has written the limitation of the Maratha Empire. So, as we see that Rajwade, the historian Rajwade, is focusing on the Marathi, focusing on the Marathi history. So he book, one of the book is there. Okay, that book name is Marathanच्या इतिहासाची साधनी. And this book has 22 volumes. This book has 22 volumes. And in this book, he want to show all the stories, all the political images, all the conspiracies and wars related to what? Related to Maratha era. All the documents, after checking each and every document, he written in his book. So Rajwade, Vishwanath Rajwade is a historian, nationalistic historian who focused on the Maratha Empire, and he written his book in Marathi languages. And he can see in the slide also the book name is Marathanच्या इतिहासांची साधनी. Okay. So afterward the next is there, but as time is already ended,